All right, good evening, everybody. Let's see, the market hasn't closed yet. Oh, it closes in about 40 minutes, but there's a few things I want to discuss today. The SSO trade, okay? Remember, we're not looking to exit this trade until the 2-bar RSI closes above 55, okay? And we're at 45.59 now, so we're not doing anything here. Remember, we went long a third here. We went along a third here, right? So that would put our average price right in about the 111.32 area. We're almost there, right? We traded as high as 113.12 today, and of course, if the market's able to close in the top quarter, this would close above 55. That's really what I'm looking for. I'm using the RSI as a dynamic stop to this trade, so that either takes us out with a win or a losing trade, either or, right? Now, of course, if this market were to dive back down and the RSI never closes above 55, but then again, but closes below 10, I would exit or enter my third position. Remember, I'll do 3. Okay, I typically weigh them more heavily as we drop. So, but I did tell you a third here and a third here usually, and I gave you that example yesterday. Okay, so we're still holding the SSO. Let's take a look at gold. If you're not already gold, I think this would be the time to look to at least put your foot in the water. You can see the 2-bar RSI closing today about 8.25 roughly. We're hitting this average here. Okay, so you're getting this video after the market closes, so my action for tomorrow would be buying it anywhere from where it closes today, as long as that 2-bar RSI is below 10, anywhere from the close to, the low or even lower, anywhere down in here on a further intraday drop, okay? Now, you also have 2 areas here where I would expect, if we were to fall further tomorrow, into these areas. Okay, these are rejection areas, right? The market rallied from each of these places right up to here, came down, tried to retest, failed, and ran up to new highs, taking out this high. So this area right in here, anywhere from, and again, this is the ETF GLD. So anywhere from where it closes to roughly 124.12, okay? Let's look at Baidu. Okay, 3 of them: Apple, Facebook, and Baidu. Okay, now each one of these, none of these are oversold anymore, but what I want to point out on each is that they each have an inside vertical bar. We're starting to coil up a little bit, right? So look at like on Apple today, right? And I think I mentioned this yesterday that yes, I would be a buyer down in here anyway. So if you were able to get any, if you were to enter this market anywhere in here on a dip back, that's great. I like Apple. I've been long Apple for quite a while, but this is a good area where I would add to that position. Again, today's high is lower than yesterday's high, and today's low is substantially higher than the low that we saw on Tuesday, right? So what I'm saying here is if we can start violating, again, if you're flat or want to add to a position in Apple, if tomorrow is able to penetrate up through the high of today, Wednesday, that would be a good place to enter. A catastrophic stop on something like that, because again, you need to have your stops in place. You need to know where you're going to exit before you even enter, right? So that would be below the low, right? So if the market opens, takes out the high, my stop would be below this low of 159.07. So that is your R, right? R stands for risk. I always have to spell that out before even entering, right? So on to the upside, you're looking for a minimum of this distance expanded back up, right? Take it, it's probably right in here. All right, so that's Apple. We're looking to do the same thing on each. Facebook, same thing. Got an inside bar. You see this high is lower than this high. This low is higher than this low. Same rules would apply. And the same thing for Baidu, even though Baidu, compared to Apple and Facebook, isn't really necessary. Well, obviously these are strong uptrends, right? Hitting these moving averages. right? Baidu, on the other hand, well, look at this is Baidu, right? Yeah, overall we're up, definitely strong up. Intermediate trend is down. We've broken through what I would consider somewhat significant, well, these lows right here. We broke through those lows. Another level I'd be looking at is right in here, and we haven't been able to break that. So let's take a look. All right. So we've got an inside pattern. So if tomorrow is able to penetrate up through the high, that would be your signal to get long with an initial catastrophic stop below this low. So again, that's your R, that's your risk. So you're looking for the market to make a minimum of that move to the upside in your favor, right? At the minimum, you would want to take your stops to break even if you hit your 1-to-1, right? So if you're risking 30, if you're risking 9 points, you're looking to make a minimum of 9 points, take something off the table and go to break even on the rest, okay? So there you have it. Let's see. Look at E-minis are starting to rally. All right, we're starting to follow through a little bit more. Okay, this is the ES on the dot D. This is the night session. Okay, let's look at an intraday chart real quick. Okay, so now we're starting to break up through. So this is the activity of today. Obviously, the market's not as volatile as it has been in the last couple of days, but today's intraday low was 2680. Today's high was 26. So you got a 46-point S&P move, right? Came all the way back. Not quite able to test. Well, we almost tested the low, right? Now we're rallying back up again. So it'll be interesting to see where we close today, okay? Now we still have about a half hour. We've got 32 minutes before the overall market closes, but 45 minutes until the E-mini futures close. If we close, I would say if we close above 2710, 2712, I would expect a retest of the high tomorrow. So if you put on a daily chart here, the retest would be right here, right there, 2726, a retest. And then the question would be, how much further can we go? Now let's draw the fib retracements and show you that. Look at this big drop that we had. We've literally snapped back almost 50%. Well, no, we have. This is of the the night session. So the @ ES stands for, the night session and the day session combined. Okay, so if you look at that, the market is already snapped back 50% from where the market dropped from, right? So the all-time highs down to this night low, actually. The market went a lot lower during that night than it did the day session, right? So I'll show you in a minute. But look at the 50%. We're right at the 50% right here, about 2705 on the @ which again takes into consideration the night trading, right? But if we go to the day session only, right, the 9:30 to 4:15 futures trading sessions, we almost got there today, right? Right there. The 50% is right there, 2731. We ran up to 2726 3/4 today, okay? So as you can see, if you look at the difference between the two charts, the @ES and the @ES.D, the low on the day session is substantially higher. That's 2589, where the night session, we traded all the way down to 2529. So 60 points lower. 60 points lower, okay? So great thing is you can trade at night if you want, so catch those swings. So again, I know it's long-winded today. I apologize. Hopefully you learned a little something. So I'll be back with you tomorrow.